Well, good morning, everyone. I want to thank the Hellenic chapter and the organizers of this wonderful conference for inviting me to participate. It's an honor to address you here today in the context of this region's long tradition of engineering excellence. And I'm pleased to join you as we tackle some of the greatest challenges and opportunities in our industry. So, as you can see, I have a passion for the outdoors, and it's taught me a lot about the importance of shelter as a concept. And my relationship with the built environment started as a very young boy. My friends and I, we lived in a neighborhood that was surrounded by a forest, and we spent a lot of time in the woods creating tree houses and ground shelters. So that my introduction to the built environment was very early, and they certainly did not pass any code requirements, but they were net zero energy. And as I had two boys, and I got them involved in a program in the U.S. called Scouting, Boy Scouting, and it's kind of an outdoor-focused organization, and they teach the kids a lot of skills around the outdoors, and in particular, some survival skills. And one of the first things that they teach us teach the boys is about the importance of shelter. And not only for the basic survival skills, but also in terms of emergency preparedness and what it means to have good, valuable shelter. And that really kind of influenced the way I've come to see shelter as more than just protection. It's the foundation for safety, health, and community. And the same is true for the buildings that we design and operate. They must go beyond simply providing protection from the elements. They must support human comfort and well-being. So throughout history, shelter has been defined and has defined the quality of life. It's one of the most fundamental human needs, essential for survival, safety, and well-being. Shelter also plays a vital role in providing emotional and psychological security, which fosters a sense of stability and comfort. Today, shelter is more than just a roof over one's head. It includes hospitals, schools, workplaces, and homes. And for these spaces to truly serve their purpose, they must prioritize indoor environmental quality, ensuring good quality of air, proper lighting, thermal comfort, good acoustics, and access to safe, clean water. That is why ASHRAE's vision, a healthy and sustainable built environment, is so important. In our vision, remember, sustainable is something that we've been focused on as an industry quite a bit over the last couple decades, but healthy is the first thing in our vision, because that's we have to remember that we're not designing buildings for silver plaques on the wall. We're designing buildings for the people that are inside them. So during the 1970s oil embargo, we created standards that cut building energy use dramatically. Over the 50 years, ASHRAE Standard 90.1 has improved the energy efficiency of buildings by more than 50%. And today, our design guidance enables the creation of practical and achievable net zero energy buildings. In the 1980s, when the link between ozone depletion and refrigerants was discovered, ASHRAE helped lead the transition to safer alternatives that have now helped the ozone hole to begin to close. During the COVID-19 pandemic, we provided urgent guidance for the building operators to minimize the risk to occupants, consequently saving many, many lives. And more recently, we advanced decarbonization efforts, moving net zero carbon buildings from concept to reality. These are profound achievements, but we now must ask ourselves, are we doing enough to ensure that buildings protect the health and human potential? Too often, buildings are designed for energy performance and falls short on environmental quality. Think of the sick building syndrome in the 1980s, due to inadequate ventilation rates, VOCs, poor moisture control, and then reduced outdoor air requirements that happened in the 90s as we moved smoking outside of buildings, and the unintended consequences of the spread of infectious disease like the flu or later COVID-19 because of lower ventilation rates. These reminders that progress in one front cannot come at the expense of human well-being. However, engineering is about learning from our challenges, refining our approach, and finding a solution. And that's exactly what ASHRAE does well. That's why my focus this year is indoor environmental quality, or IEQ. Just as we once tackled energy efficiency, refrigerants, and carbon, we must now give equal priority to the indoor environment. Anyone who has taken a brisk hike on a cool fall morning knows the value of fresh air. It sharpens our focus, it lifts our mood, and it boosts our performance. Scouts learn this too. When pitching a tent, you face the opening away from the fire to avoid smoke and to ensure ventilation. And I always use this moment to teach my scouts about ASHRAE standard 60.2, which is indoor air quality standard. And of course, the scouts roll their eyes as I explain how the standard emphasizes proper intake location and ventilation rates in residential buildings. But the lesson matters. Humans breathe about 15,000 liters of air a day, and indoor air quality directly affects human health. The World Health Organization links 3.2 million deaths per year to indoor pollution, including, sadly, 237,000 children under 5 years old. Prolonged exposure to pollutants can increase the risk of heart disease, stroke, lung cancer, respiratory illness, and even mental health problems. And in many parts of the world, reliance on solid fuels for cooking and heating make exposure even more dangerous, especially to women and children because of small particulates. Thermal comfort is more than just a thermostat setting. ASHRAE guideline tells us that many factors affect people's thermal perception. Think of warming in the sun on a cool morning, or how a light breeze cools you on a hot day. We can think back to a thermal comfort experience such as seeking relief in a shady grove of trees on a hot summer day, or a snake warming itself on a rock. This is the power of radiant heat, and why building performance and envelope are so important. Another example is when a light breeze on a hot and humid day provides just enough cooling to make us feel comfortable. This is the power of elevated air speeds. Our perception of thermal comfort changes even when we wear different clothing or do different activities. Though air temperature set points in codes are easy to understand, they do not represent thermal comfort. Soon we will mark the 60th anniversary of ASHRAE Standard 55, Thermal Environmental Conditions for Human Occupancy, which provides that when we design for radiant comfort, or design to reduce discomfort, we create environments that enhance learning, productivity, and energy efficiency. Many of us have shivered in an overcooled hotel, office building, or convention center in a hot and humid climate. Today, it's common for users of air conditioners to turn down the thermostat or air conditioner set point significantly to manage humidity in the air. Even the best air conditioners tend to focus on temperature and not humidity. Although our industry has continuously optimized efficiency levels of their products to meet and exceed efficiency ratings, these improvements have been focused on efficiently managing temperature or sensible load, and not much attention has been given to addressing humidity or the latent load in indoor spaces. Configuring equipment to manage both humidity and temperature simultaneously can make a significant difference in the energy used. Our Rocky Mountain Institute's Global Cooling Prize competition proved this point. In India, units designed to control both temperature and humidity, essentially sensible and latent heat simultaneously, cut energy use by over 50%, with 40% of that savings coming from simply avoiding overcooling in units that control temperature alone. Real-world conditions demand real-world solutions. Acoustics. You know, noise is more than just a nuisance. It directly affects health, focus, and productivity. Studies have shown that 70% of workers in open offices say noise impacts their focus, and 2/3 report reduced productivity and higher stress levels. Good acoustic design leads to fewer errors, better learning, and improved well-being. Even on Scout campouts, I saw just how the sounds of crickets and bullfrogs at night kept 95% of the middle schoolers awake late into the night. Acoustics matters everywhere. Light shapes our health and productivity. Balanced daylighting, quality electric light regulates circadian rhythms, improve mood, and reduce fatigue. Poor lighting, by contrast, contributes to eye strain, headaches, and stress. Dynamic, well-designed lighting supports focus and performance while saving energy. Like the sunrise that lifts your spirits, thoughtful lighting design can transform indoor environments. No scout or hiker will spend time in the woods without access to clean water, and we shouldn't take it for granted that the buildings we designed have clean and safe water entering them from the utilities. Aging infrastructure, poor water treatment practices have led to waterborne illness, even in developed nations. In fact, in my own country, a 2022 study in New Jersey found that Legionella was present in 50% of the homes tested. Our hospitals, schools, offices, and elder care centers that have the most at-risk populations are connected to that same water system. We must monitor and treat water coming into our buildings just like we do with air. Clean source water has become a critical factor in indoor environmental quality, and this was shown just recently in the city of New York and in the Harlem district this summer when we had heavy rains and floods, and that caused a Legionella breakout of over 110 people, and 7 people died. And that's because of poor water management practices that happened because of infiltration into the water systems. This is actually a picture of my oldest son when he was little. And there's no way today I would let him drink from that water fountain. So, ASHRAE's vision is a healthy and sustainable built environment for all. We are proud of our legacy, improving energy efficiency, removing ozone-depleting refrigerants, conserving resources, and now decarbonizing buildings. We've answered a big challenge before, and it's time to do another good turn, as we call it in scouting. We must now direct the same effort to the indoor environment and become healthy indoor environmentalists. The methods and technology exist to make energy efficient buildings, and we're talking about that today in this conference. And the techniques and methods exist to make buildings that have excellent indoor environmental quality. It's about balancing the two in your designs. It's not about creating new breakthroughs in technology. Balancing energy efficiency with good IEQ ensures that buildings are not only environmentally sustainable, but also conducive to the health and productivity of their occupants, creating a win-win situation for both people and the planet. But first, we must be prepared, as the Scouts say. When Alex and Colin and I, those are my sons, head out on a hike or some other outdoor adventure, we always have a map and a carefully provisioned backpack. So the goal is to help us be similarly prepared for an important IEQ journey during my presidential year. First, we need a good map, a multi-year roadmap for healthy buildings that outlines necessary advancements in building design, operation, and maintenance to ensure superior indoor environmental quality. This roadmap will serve as a guiding document for the industry, setting clear goals and actionable steps to elevate IEQ and maintain energy efficiency. The roadmap will identify and document best practices from across the industry that efficiently balance occupant health with energy performance. It will pinpoint gaps in research and standards. While ASHRAE has long been at the forefront of building science, we recognize that new research is needed to address the emerging challenges in indoor environmental quality. The roadmap will highlight areas where further study is required and guide future research efforts for the industry. We will set priorities for improving system designs and ensure practical implementation that includes guidance on operations and maintenance. Second, education and accessibility are critical to making IEQ a priority in building design and operation. ASHRAE has created a user-friendly resource to equip professionals with practical knowledge, including a web-based IEQ education platform and central hub that's accessible on our website, informational videos for designers, owners, tenants, and facility managers that explain concepts of IEQ and how best to achieve them, and technical hour sessions on IEQ, moisture control, acoustics, and water risk mitigation that will be broadcast during the year. And lastly, we're working on developing practical, downloadable checklists for new and existing buildings that your maintenance manager can use to ensure that you're doing the right things in terms of IEQ. Third, we're bringing together experts, policymakers, and practitioners to advance IEQ through we had our IEQ 2025 conference in Montreal, Canada, just this past September, where we had a pre-conference that focused specifically on water quality, wildfire, smoke mitigation, and high priority buildings like schools and elder care centers. And lastly, ASHRAE has established a presidential design challenge this year, inviting chapters like the Hellenic chapter to create innovative IEQ solutions that balance health and efficiency locally in their areas. And there's some funding that allows the chapter to do a project locally to assist, let's say a nonprofit or some other type of entity. These initiatives reinforce that healthy environments are necessary and not a luxury, and will accelerate the adoption of IEQ-centered practices across the industry. Like building a safe shelter in the woods, healthy buildings require planning and balance. Our work must build upon the energy efficiency and carbon reduction while ensuring that we maintain health and well-being. We have the tools, now we need to unify them into a comprehensive approach. It's time for another good turn, to put people at the center of the built environment and create spaces that truly protect and nurture those who work and live within it. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much, Bill, and really inspiring presentation for us. It's very important to see what is happening and what is exactly the trend, but you saw the full pathway, in my opinion at least, the full pathway for indoor environmental health, for the places that we spend the majority of our life, even if we are working or we are living in the other hours. So this gives us a great opportunity to, in our opinion, organize this short appreciation and grateful. So we really appreciate being here for you and your valuable contribution to the Hellenic chapter. Please. So thank you very much.